Robo is on location in Genk, Belgium with lighting designer Luc Peumans. Tell me about this amazing location.
This amazing location is called Seamine. It's in the city of Genk. It's a city where I was born and raised, and it's also the location where our offices are. But Seamine is an amazing place with a lot of industrial heritage. It's a coal mine area. It was in this province where we are living. It started in 1917 when they start getting coal out of the ground, and yeah, this one of the biggest locations, and they stopped it in 1988, something like that. But then the city of Genk decided to give it a new destination, and I think it was around 2008 when they opened this new location. We have theaters here, we have event locations. It's an event square. We have School of Arts. C stands for creation and culture. We have also an incubator with startup companies, so it's all around, based around creation, design, and it's for us, of course, a nice place to be. It's also a lot of green and nature, and it's an inspiring place. So we have our own office here, which is also an old heritage building.
Tell me a little bit about your office, because I know it was a labour of love renovating it. It was an old derelict building that was once part of the mine, wasn't it?
It was it's called the horse stables, and it was the city of Genk when they redestinated this area. They gave it as a project to creative companies to give it a new destination. So it was important to a creative company and that they had a good concept to redo the building, and that was a pitch that we won. It was then 2008, I think, and then we started it renovating in 2012, because it was a long design process and a lot of approvals, because it's cultural heritage and stuff like that. But it was an amazing process. It's a very nice building which we are very proud of. We have our offices and our studio there, and it's everything. Everybody who comes here, they're always amazed by the place we have.
It's very special. We're just going to take a little look back and ask how your lighting design career started.
You know, I always wanted to be an inventor.
Yeah.
So technical, creative. That's what I always wanted to do. I was always busy trying to find things out and find solutions for everything. But then during high school, I was part of a theater dance group, and they had their own lighting kit. As I found out soon that it was better to work backstage than being on the stage. But that's where I got the microbe of, okay, that's nice light, and that really interested me. So I started working them, helping them, building up lighting, and then also other companies who did like small parties or fashion shows and corporate events. I started working there as a job student.
And you were also playing music, weren't you?
I was a musician, I was DJ, I played guitar in a band, and I was entertainment is always something that really interested me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not that I wanted to be a star on stage, but you
wanted to do a backstage star.
Backstage star.
Okay, and then you were I think working with rental companies at that time.
I was working with rental companies, and indeed, my parents, of course, they wanted me to get a good degree, so I had to finish my studies as an engineer. But at that time I was already working a lot, indeed, for other rental companies here in the neighborhood, and I was doing lighting design and programming and loading, unloading, and setting up, and that's how I learned it. And then I decided to start my own business as a lighting design, because also I felt that lighting design was at that point something you could not study it, so I learned it by doing it myself, and I also felt that there was a need for light design separate from providing equipment. You know, I didn't want to have my own rental company or something like that, so I wanted to be creative and be independent and work on a variety of shows or whatever. So but I was also intrigued by new technology, and that's something we have always been working on.
So that was 1999,
Yeah,
and
correct.
you founded Painting with Light.
Yes.
Yeah, and I believe you now have 21 people working with you.
Yeah, correct.
So that's
So we
done.
grew a lot. I think Painting with Light has evolved to, like we call it now ourselves, like lighting and media design studio, or multimedia design studio. Live entertainment is still our main focus, but we also have like a project division which focuses on fixed installations and art installation and architectural work. Beside that. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I was going to actually comment on the fact that you do a real diversity of work,
Yeah,
don't you?
correct.
From like musicals, big theatre productions. You work with a lot of music artists,
Yeah.
and you do corporate shows, all television,
Yeah.
all the way to sort of more, architectural and architainment applications. I mean, is it that really nice? Do you enjoy that lively, big mix of things?
Yeah. You don't focus on one thing only, and we're always in a creative process, and the mix of the different things just makes it very, very interesting, and makes it you don't get bothered by doing only one thing. It's like every
Sure.
time we start from a clean sheet, from a clean canvas, and we create stuff. Because in fact, if you're doing a broadcast or a musical theater, you try to achieve the same things with your lighting. Of course, there's different ways of working and different tools sometimes, but at the end you try to create emotion and make things look nice, and that's what we do it for.
Looking back over your career and all these various different mega mix of projects that you've done, are there a couple of highlights that stand out?
If you ask me what is your project you're most favorite, because for me it's like asking which of your two kids you like most. So so I usually don't say that, but there are of course many things in my career. Like we worked for Clouseau, the big arena shows, and these were so magic moments.
Clouseau are a great artist to work with, aren't they?
Yeah. And I remember, like for instance, when we did the first In the Round show, I think it was 2003, if I'm correct. It was like, we also never did it. So there again, it's like you have to learn it yourself. But I remember we worked with Cyberhouse. It was one of the first shows with Cyberhouse. They used it on Eurovision, but we were the second to could use it. But it was like a tool which could allow you to create emotion. Remember that we created things when the show started, and everything went black, and there was like a big crown over the stage which went up in the dark, and nobody noticed it was going up, and then there was a kabuki going up and then falling. But that moment, I see it like it was yesterday. That joy, and it's like, wow, what is this? And that's what you do it for.
Absolutely.
But there are many other things, it's like creating the musicals with the which we know like 4045 and Red Star line, with all the technology and the moving things, which is quite a challenge to do that, and at the end when you see the result, it's very proud of it. But also things of my team, what they do now. It's like I'm not the only light designer in our company anymore. It's good to see that they take over the vision and the DNA of the company.
What's the most sort of unusual or standout, memorable venue that you've worked in, or site specific?
We did, I think it was 2012, opening show of in Manama. They were the capital of the cultural Arab world, and we did a big opening ceremony. It was organized by the Ministry of Culture of Bahrain. I was asked by a show director from Paris, and we created a really big spectacle on the sea, with a big stage from Stageco, transferred from Belgium. The stage was in the sea with a transparent screen in the back, and with a really transparent stage, but yeah, that was also for me one of the biggest projects at that time. Also one of my first Middle East projects. So it's always a great experience to work with different cultures and different people. But the location was amazing.
What do you most love about your work?
It's creating. I think it's the most fun is that that you can be creative, that you can express with lighting things. Important is teamwork, collaboration between all the team members, all the different divisions like set designers or costume designers, sound designers, producers. It's such an amazing process. And with lighting you can change the perception of things. You can create, you can decide how people see it, how they feel about it, how they experience it, and that's great. And that's why that's an important role of my lighting design. Whether it's architecture or whether it's musical, for me it's the same.
Sure.
For me it's the same passion doing that, creating that.
Sure.
And that's also like you can see it like how a painter, how we translate impressions onto a canvas. It's a bit the same what you do with light, and that's also why I called my company Painting with Light, of course.
Yeah, it's a great name.